Welcome to Highly Questionable. Dan Lebitard. This guy, fresh off his 0-4 weekend picking football games, is my father, Gonzalo. That's Bomani Jones. What's on the show today, Bo?
We get Brady Manning again, but it doesn't feel like it's going to be no thriller in Manila. You know what I mean?
Vamos, papi.
Does the NFL need to change the OT rules?
This is great how quickly this became a discussion. It wasn't a discussion before. We've already changed them once, but it became a discussion because we wanted to see more Cardinals-Packers football. We didn't feel like the Packers had their season end in a way that was just because they had just done this. They had done Aaron Rodgers again going Hail Mary. This is crazy, Bomani.
Yeah, I mean, woo!
Arians blitz there because he's always aggressive. And so we wanted more football, and we didn't think it was fair for the Packers to have their season ended immediately after that by, Carson Palmer throwing across his body and Larry Fitzgerald ending their season. But college does have it better than the pros in this respect. And if you want to change it again, you might want to change it again because it's more fun for us and the customers what matters there.
I just want to ask how it is that when Tim Tebow pulled that rabbit's foot out of his keister in overtime, nobody was talking about, hey, man, we need to change the rules. Because Aaron Rodgers pulled a rabbit's foot out of his keister on one play, now all of a sudden people feel like they needed more. Nah, man, it is a tiebreaker. People are If you've got a problem with not everyone getting a drive, then you might as well play this out a whole quarter. Except I'm not asking the guys who already played football for 3 hours to play any more than they absolutely have to. Come on, man. This is just how football games end. We used to do sudden death. I like that better than what we got now.
One other thing we might want to change, Bomani, though, is the coin flip. Look at this. How can we not talk more about this? We got a totally botched coin flip. And the NFL got lucky that the Cardinals won it both times. Otherwise, we'd be talking about this for a month.
How did it not flip? Like, how did it not flip?
No flip there. The coin didn't turn, so the ref decided to do it over.
The best part, though, is Aaron Rodgers after the game salty. Why was he salty? Because he felt like they should have got to call the second flip, and if he had done it that time, he would have called heads.
You weren't going to change that, Aaron.
If Aaron Rodgers is so good, shouldn't he have won that game in regulation? He threw that Hail Mary pass again. He got lucky that he got so far.
Wait a minute, Bomani, you know who got lucky? Carson Palmer got lucky in that game. You want to show a bunch of clips of Carson Palmer throwing balls that should have been intercepted and intercepted and intercepted, none of which were intercepted?
No, what this game felt like watching Carson Palmer is that he had a great year, but he didn't turn into a new guy. Like, he used to be a dude you could count on to throw you one or two a game you would have a chance at. He looked like that dude in that game.
Should the Panthers be concerned they were outscored 24-0 in the second half against the Seahawks?
Now, we must note it's a good thing for the Panthers. They were up 31-0, which allowed that 24-0 run to be a lot less significant. But this is the second time this year they've had one of those giant leads and watched it evaporate. That same thing happened when they played against the Giants. One thing to consider, and this is something for the NFL to think about, when they do those Saturday games, they start them later in the afternoon. A 1 o'clock kickoff for a West Coast team really does matter. And this is the second time in 4 years we've seen Seattle come out and get smoked in the first half of a game in this round of the playoffs and come back like gangbusters in the second. But oh well, can the Panthers go on?
But here's what you've got, though. Riverboat Ron, when he gets a 31-0 lead, isn't so riverboat. What they did was conservative by nature because they knew by virtue of being up 31-0, just don't turn the ball over. You know how hard against that defense it's going to be to come back and get all 31 of the points if Carolina doesn't turn the ball over, and they didn't.
Well, let's be clear about Riverboat Ron. Like, that nickname was a ha-ha thing when it started. All that happened was he realized it's really hard to stop Cam Newton on 4th and 1. He's still the dude he was before that.
I was very disappointed because Russell, he threw 2 interceptions, 10 points. That was the game. One was run back for a touchdown, the other one turned into a field goal.
Yeah.
If he hadn't done that, the Seahawks would have won, so that one is on him.
He's kind of right, by the way. Like, it's very rare that you wind up coming to the end of a game and being like, that was really Russell Wilson's fault.
Am I right?
You're right.
Holy I haven't been right in a while.
Yeah.
You weren't right all weekend.
Do you agree with Richard Sherman that the Seahawks are far from done?
Far from done. Well, they should have been done a week earlier if the Vikings had just made a kick, but he's right about the general blueprint. They're a very young football team that has most of its guys tied up in contracts, and Russell Wilson seems to be improving as a quarterback. So this team is not going anywhere for a while. It's a very good team, and it's hard to keep the violence and the aggression and the hunger on defense, but they still allowed fewer points than any team this year, even though we spent much of the year criticizing their defense.
Yeah, a couple things worth noting, though. One of them being they went from winning 13 games to 12 games to 10 games this year. So it's not as though this thing is building up. The other part is while they do have the quarterback, they also have a quarterback that's tied into a much larger contract. They have a better quarterback, but that's still a much higher percentage in that one position that makes it harder to put guys around them. But they have a chance. They've still got so many talented players that are on this team. I would note, though, this was another game, even though part of it was the Luke Kuechly run back, where they gave up a lot of points. They gave up 31 points by the time it was over to the Panthers. This year's defense didn't give up a lot of points, but they did when they played against good teams. This wasn't a dominant defense against good teams.
I'd add this, too. They're not the same team on the road as they are at home, and if you only win 10 regular season games, you're going to end up in the cold of Minnesota on the road playing in ice, and you're going to end up playing on the road at a 15-1 team.
Richard Sherman, did he play in yesterday's game? I didn't see him at all on the field. I don't know. I mean, did he blow his coverage?
You really didn't see Carolina's receivers doing very much either. They didn't need them.
After squeaking by broken Big Ben and his team of benchwarmers, should the Broncos be confident in Peyton Manning?
That was a pretty impressive obliteration they had going there on that question. But hey, Peyton Manning in the AFC Championship again. Now, of course, the Steelers were a depleted unit, but that was better than I thought you'd get out of Peyton Manning. The problem is, I didn't think you'd get anything worth a damn out of Peyton Manning at all. Is this the least imposing #1 seed playing at home that you could remember? Because I don't see a way that team with that quarterback, with that arm against a Bill Belichick defense is going to win.
Well, not just that, and a healthy Bill Belichick offense, because they look different when they're healthy. You just saw with Kansas City, you can't beat that offense healthy with field goals. Kansas City tried it with one of those 27-play drives that takes 9 minutes when you need 2 touchdowns. And basically what you've got from the Broncos, their last 23 postseason possessions, they've scored 1 touchdown. Peyton Manning is no longer a touchdown quarterback. He's thrown 1 touchdown pass in Denver. Tom Brady has 3 of those in Denver. It's a field goal team now, and that's a hard way to beat the Patriots.
Well, I tell you, those HEAs are working now. He fell down and he get up and he threw. That's right, and that's it. That was the game right there. That was the play of the game. I never thought that he could get up on his own.
I didn't think so either.
How did he get away with giving himself up like that and then getting right back up? Does anybody?
The Steelers didn't expect him to get up. You didn't expect him to get up. Peyton Manning didn't expect to get up.
All I'm saying is this: if he didn't fall down on purpose, he wouldn't have been able to stand up that fast.
Does Danny Amendola deserve to be suspended for this hit?
I would suspend Danny Amendola for this hit, because if you're going to give Burfict 3 games for body of work and a violent hit that was illegal in the Steelers-Bengals game, what this guy did here to me was a worse infraction right here. You're blindsiding. Amendola was going to return the punt. That guy for the Chiefs was not expecting that. That's a missile situation. I think Amendola, he got penalized for it, but I think Amendola is skating a little bit here, Bomani, just because he's tiny. He's not as big as Burfict, and so he does that with his helmet, and somehow we think that hurts less.
There's something interesting going on here, though. Apparently, the rules did not consider the possibility that the punt returner might strike back. Like, you would not know watching that if you hadn't thought about it quick enough. Wait a minute. Danny Amendola is supposed to be there to catch the punt. What's going on here? I don't know whether or not he should be suspended. I really don't. I can see with Burfict there was so many things that is stacked up, but there was a spectacular level of hand-wringing about the level of violence that went on with Burfict, and people went on and on and on about it. With Amendola, it could have been real easy if you didn't see that live to have never heard about that hit again. Why there's a difference for acts that were remarkably similar, especially in our new world order of knowing the dangers of lowering your head when you hit people, I don't have an answer.
It's because he's a white guy. Got away with it, that's all. That's all.
A tiny white guy.
That's right.
Bomani didn't say that. Don't put that on Bomani. You guys like to put that on Bomani. Don't put it on Bomani. My dad said that.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Coming up next on Highly Questionable.
That is very incriminating. First of all, he wasn't fouled, but it's his eyes that betray him. Ready? Right there!
But the eyes that were looking dead at the dude that he tripped when he said that he wasn't trying to trip him?
It is Monday. Time for more questions.
Yes, sir.
Are you 100% sure Jamal Reed was trying to trick this ref?
You got to do a lot to get an Oregon State highlight into this show. The president's brother-in-law coached Oregon State, and we weren't putting him in here. Oregon State basketball? But that's what happens when you do this and try to tell us it wasn't on purpose. It's Oregon State versus Utah, and he wanted a foul call. He didn't get the foul call, and he's trying to tell me that he didn't do that on purpose. All right, here's your reverse angle. He's looking at the dude right there, and he's trying to tell us that he did not do that.
That is very incriminating. First of all, he wasn't fouled, but it's his eyes that betray him. Ready? Right there!
But the eyes that were looking dead at the dude that he tripped when he said that he wasn't trying to trip him. Here's another fascinating part of this. He was given a flagrant 2 for that infraction. Who knew that you could get called for a foul against somebody who wasn't playing in the game? Like, I understand that it's a ref, but I did not know that you could be called for a foul against the ref.
I had a different angle here. I saw it differently. You know, I think that the ref, he flopped.
It could be a combination of the two things.
Let's run this one more time. Sorry, Tommy Nunez, this is funny. You think the ref flopped? Let's see.
Here.
Yeah, let me tell you something. That ain't what a flop looks like. Like, when a guy flops, he doesn't fall like that. Look at that jerk he gets at the end. Whoa, right there. That's not a flop. That's a man who did not see any of that coming. Because who trips the ref?
Because why would you see it coming?
Does Jordan Washington get off easy with the 2-game suspension?
Okay, it was Iona and Monmouth. I don't know if this is some sort of age-old Northeastern rivalry or something like this, but the game got chippy. And then after the game...
Company steadily progressing and putting everyone on notice.
There we go. It's right here.
And this will be continued.
There's some Charlie Murphy, Rick James action.
Did he just slap him?
He just slapped him in the face. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that's a... but it's a slap and then an immediate pullback. He was in retreat as soon as his hand landed.
But how often do you see the open hand slap? Like, yeah, that'll absolutely get you 2 games. And I don't know who that Gandhi-like figure is that he slapped in the face. Because if you watch that again, he got slapped in the face and, like, took that in stride in a way I've never seen anyone after receiving an open hand slap.
You call that a slap? That's not the slap. This is a slap.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. That's the one I like.
Slap.
That's what you're talking about, the big slap.
Who could sense the participant in something like this?
That's how you slap someone.
I did not know you could knock someone unconscious with an open hand slap.
I was so afraid my father was going to slap me there.
Like, that's like signing up for someone to spit in your face as a contest, except you could get knocked unconscious.
Gail, I'm done with you. Gail, we're done. It is true. I hit that dude for the work. Stick and move. Then I skirt. Skirt, skirt. Skirt, skirt. What is up with you? This broadcast from the Clevelander Hotel on beautiful South Beach, Miami. Time to play the game that smells burning. Do you question?
You give us topics and events, and we question them.
Burning what?
That's a good question.
Do you question being Peyton's coat guy?
Coat guy? He has a coat guy the way that Jameis Winston at Florida State had a chain guy. What's a coat guy?
They've decided to go for 2. They called a timeout. And this ain't like Jameis Winston. That's like a low-key James Brown.
Wow.
Put the cape on Peyton. That's how you know you're old, by the way, where it's a 30-second timeout and you need to put that coat on for as long as you, whatever time you get to get some warmth, I'm going to need that, and I'm going to need that right now. But Dan hit it. That's cool, like being Peyton Manning. Jameis Winston has someone adorn him with a gold chain before every game at Florida State, and then got that dude a job with the Buccaneers. Homeboy Hall of Famer right there.
How about Andy Reid's flag guy? Andy Reid, during his game, had a pickpocket on his staff to make sure that he didn't do anything when he wasn't supposed to do it. That's crazy. You can't do this. Look, it's the 2-minute mark. You don't want to be challenging things at the 2-minute mark, so this guy comes in and just pickpockets him.
Who greenlit that? Like, the question is, Andy Reid is the guy with the most authority on the sideline, so who is inside the operation? Who's Brutus, right? Who said, no, we're not about to let this go down?
I think Andy Reid is the guy who, before the game, says, you guys need to protect me from myself. Somebody come in here at the 2-minute mark and just pickpocket me. The Chiefs got a professional pickpocket on the staff.
It also means they need to get somebody whose job is to do the clock for Andy Reid. Like, if they're making those kinds of decisions for him, let somebody else call the timeouts.
Right.
Do you question if Matt Mitrione injury is as funny as John Bones John thought it was?
Those violent guys think pain and gruesome stuff is funny. Mitrione's a UFC fighter, and look what happened.
Oh.
Ah! Ah!
Is that a goiter?
What did John Bones Jones do? Let's see. He found it funny because these people are crazy, violent and crazy. What did he do?
Not a haunted house.
Well, it was kind of a haunted house. It really was a haunted house and also a haunted house.
That was like one of those injuries you get in a Rocky fight. Like, you really don't see that in real life too much. That definitely looks like they had to do that with some sort of makeup. Except if it was a Rocky fight, his eye would be down here because they've never heard of, like, you know, things being online in Rocky fights.
He took it out of the picture today. Don't worry. He's looking much better today.
Oh, no. How bad is this picture? No, it is better.
It is
better. A lot of ice, a lot of treatment. It does look better.
I don't know. I didn't need to see that, though, my dude. Like, I mean, thanks for the update.
He still looks like a haunted house creature.
You can't even put an eye patch on that yet.
Time to play the game that is always working on its veteran repertoire. See or no?
Tell us what to watch on TV tonight. We'll tell you if we're intrigued or not.
On ESPN2, the Australian Open.
No thanks, not yet. But I would like to talk about match fixing. BBC had a report about match fixing irregularities. Djokovic was asked about something in 2007. He said he was offered $200,000 to dump a first-round match, and then they asked him about it the other day again. Here's the back and forth with a reporter.
I was not approached directly. I was approached through, well, I mean, me personally, through people that were working with me at that time, that were in my team, and of course we threw it away right away. I mean, it didn't even get to me.
That should probably be a bigger story. Probably it shouldn't be something we're sliding in here and see or no, goofy after the place we put the gerbils and the slap fighting. But Monty, are you intrigued?
I am intrigued by the tennis. I also am kind of surprised by what Djokovic is saying here because I didn't get the feeling that the folks that approach you about match fixing really make offers. Like this whole they take no for an answer thing. Like, who are these amateurs that came up to you like, okay, no big deal, just want to see if you want to make some extra money.
Never mind. Bobby, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. Listen, I've been making money in tennis for many, many years now, tons of money, and I got news for you. Ring!
Yeah,
Here
we go.
Ring!
Yeah.
Hey, Juanito, did somebody get in touch with you?
Yeah, there we
I
go.
think that Djokovic, he let the cat out of the bag. Do you remember the number of years ago that you went after that? Yeah, they got in the, all right, well, be on the lookout, Juanito. Take care.
Wait a minute. Did you just put out a hit on Novak Djokovic?
Be on the lookout.
On ABC, The Bachelor.
Come on, man. Why do you guys keep foisting this on us? Like, enough already. You've been doing it for years. Like, enough. What do we got? Let's throw a clip.
We're going to find out if the odors you give off are attractive to Ben. Let's go.
Ben is supposed to smell all of us, not your normal first date.
Are you excited for me to smell you?
I can't believe this is happening.
I'm Lila Boy.
I cannot possibly smell cabbage just because I haven't eaten cabbage for 2 weeks.
It's very flowery.
Step to your right, bend down to her waist.
Okay.
So there are glands right near your reproductive organs that we're going to try to smell.
Almost beachy. Very sweet.
And last one.
This is a little more sour.
What? Like, I don't think I smell sour. It's the shirt. It's not me.
Sweet and sour, but that's great in Chinese food.
Chinese food.
Smells beachy, one of them said. Beachy. My father has trouble with that word. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see,
I'm sorry, I wasn't supposed to go to you. But Monty, are you intrigued?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little thrown off by all of this. I'm a little bit confused. When did it take all this research to figure out if somebody was musty or not? Like, normally that sort of thing makes itself evident. We don't need to go to some scientist to find out if somebody is musty. You know that person you went to school with who's musty. You didn't need somebody to let you know. It just comes up and out and all over the place.
Man, Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm intrigued because I'm telling you something. Big Ben has many good qualities, you know, but that smelling was one of them. I'm telling you something. He has a sharp sense of smell.
What the hell was that?
You know how he developed that?
I don't know how he developed that.
I know how he developed that.
Well, I'm mysterious. What a mysterious way to end the show.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
The Right Time with Bomani Jones radio show, 4 to 7 Eastern every day on ESPN Radio. Check it out. Thanks for watching.
Gracias. See you mañana.
Do you want to smell something sexy?
No.
Yeah, here, you can smell this.
Really?
Very sexy.
Really?
Very clean. Here, Bomani.
Really?
Take a sneak.
Here,
Yeah, that's
here,
right.
Bomani.
That's right. Here.
Okay, all right.
No takers.
No takers.